Hi, so this video is going to be a little bit different from what I usually post on here in the sense that it's more than 2 minutes long and it's not me playing a cover or an original song or whatever. But as I approach my final year of high school, I've been thinking a lot about how I've grown since the pandemic, and not only that, but also about what has remained constant about who I am as a person, and one of those constants has been my love for music. I know I've talked about my beginnings as a musician way too many times on both here and in interviews and whatnot, but I'll just repeat an abridged version of the story just for context. So, I grew up in a musical family and I wanted to play an instrument like my parents did, but I didn't truly find my footing until the start of the pandemic when I decided to pick up the guitar. And soon after that, I began writing songs, many of which would be posted online on YouTube and SoundCloud under what would become the Callier Project. And as my passion for songwriting continued, I began teaching myself how to sing and write lyrics, and I would get to play those songs in front of people at open mics, and I would eventually end up joining my childhood friend's band, and that brings us to where we are right now. But we're not focusing on that today, though. Instead, I wanted to talk about one of the musicians that played a significant role in shaping my identity, not only as a musician, but also as a visual artist. And this artist is none other than Jimmy Somewhere, who's a Norwegian artist currently based in Los Angeles, which is where I'm at, so I think that's pretty cool. I started listening to Jimmy Somewhere during the year 2020. It was peak COVID quarantine. I had nowhere to go. I was in middle school, so all I did was stay at home, play guitar, listen to music. And during that, I found another Norwegian artist who I became obsessed with, and his name's Boy Pablo. Um, and he also defined the way that I approach music now. So I'll do another video on that another time, but that's unrelated. But I found the song that he and Jimmy Somewhere worked on together, which is called Never Cared, came out in 2019, and I really liked it, so I decided to check out the rest of Jimmy's music, and it was nothing like I'd ever heard before. So I became a fan right then and there. And that was around the time he released his song Bottle Rocket, and when I listened to that, I thought it was really cool. I like the song, I like the music video, I still do, and that was what marked the start of my obsession with his music. Nothing Gold Can Stay, which is the album that Bottle Rocket was on, came out in December of that year. If I remember correctly, there was some sort of delay with its release, so as soon as it was available to stream where I lived, I gave it a listen, and I just remember like sobbing immediately after I listened to the album for the first time. And it wasn't an exaggeration to say that that album like truly defined the way that I approach music and just storytelling in general. Also, side note, Jimmy Somewhere was actually the first artist I bought merch from. I bought the blue T-shirt. There's also the brown one, and it had like rhinestones on it, and I kind of wish I bought that one instead. But I have this one, and I wear it all the time, and it's like one of my favorite shirts. My love for this album continued well into the year 2021 to the point where I remember writing a piece about it for my high school yearbook application. My eighth grade self begged my friends on our unofficial school Discord server to give the album a listen so they could answer some interview questions about it for my writing sample, and one of my classmates actually did so. So, thank you, unnamed classmate, for that. I ended up submitting the sample with my application, and I got in, and I'll actually be going into my final year as a member of yearbook staff when summer ends, so that's pretty weird to think about, but thank you, Jimmy Somewhere, for getting me into yearbook. This next topic is kind of related to the whole yearbook thing. Jimmy Somewhere has also been an inspiration to me as a graphic designer. He does a lot of his own design work for his music, like album covers and things like that, and I find it really cool because I've been a visual artist much longer than I've been a musician, and I started getting into graphic design during the end of my middle school years and going into my first year of high school, which there's a lot of overlap between my interest in graphic design and me getting into Jimmy Somewhere's music. So I think that's kind of interesting. And I know that there are a lot of people who are like this as well, but seeing someone who was such a big inspiration to me at the time, like Jimmy Somewhere, someone who could do both music and design, like, was really encouraging, and it helped me do the same thing. And that sort of mindset and inspiration has helped me when working on my album artwork and also my magazine, which I think really combines my passions for both music and design. And Jimmy's also seen a bunch of my drawings of him on social media, mostly on my art Instagram. And that's kind of funny to think about because for months I was essentially bombarding him with oftentimes uncanny drawings of him. And I drew him again recently when brainstorming for this video. And I hope he didn't think it was creepy because a lot of those older drawings are like kind of scary. I was looking through them recently and I was, ooh. But he was also the first person to like the post, which was surprising in a good way, but surprising. So this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching me sort of talk about people who have been really inspiring to me as a musician and as an artist in general. I've been wanting to do these sort of talking videos for a while, but I never really had the time to script them out or come up with ideas. But now that it's summer break, I can actually do that. So hopefully I can make more. And of course, thank you to Jimmy Somewhere for being awesome. He's not going to see this, but still. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Thank you.